Good morning. Welcome. Glad you guys are here. So a couple things. We are at the very end of our grading period, so I do strongly recommend, especially you guys, because you guys have kept up with pretty much everything, just double check your Schoology grades and make sure they're matching up to Hack. I'm halfway down your list of doing that, but I still have to do it for the other classes. So if you could help me out, and if you see anything that doesn't look right, then cool, let me know. All right, just email me. But I'm turning in my grades today at noon, just because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, and they're due tomorrow, so I have to walk them down today. So so just be mindful of that, and if there's any changes or anything that like you think of last minute, email me, but just know that I might have to do it next week after the grades are done and deal with it then, okay? Because everything was cut off on Tuesday. That's kind of why. So anyway, what we have to do today is in our folder. I forgot to put it. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, there you go. Now we're good. And so today, basically, in our little folder, sorry, while that's loading, let me talk to you. So tomorrow you guys have a makeup day. So a lot of people who maybe were trying to handle all their grades and stuff and got a little behind on the solution stuff, none of that goes on this grading period, so you don't have to worry about that. But tomorrow I would recommend you use that time wisely and you get yourself caught up, all right? I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be able to jump on the Zoom call for your period. So there probably will be an attendance check-in with the instructions on what you needed to get done for tomorrow. All right, and like I said, tomorrow is a makeup day, so it's kind of like catch yourself up in this unit 10, and then your test is next Friday over this next chapter, right? So if you've been keeping up, good. If you haven't, you really need to go catch up because there's a lot of material that was shared in this chapter. It's not a hard chapter, but you do need to go look through the notes that I've shared with you multiple times and things like that, okay? So as far as today goes, though, we are talking about molarity, okay? And so in our molarity folder, what we're going to see is we have this little resource that's right here. Let me exit out of it right there, though. There we go. So we have this resource. So if you are getting a little confused at all today on the assignment, I'm not going to be able to work through a lot of it with you, but we'll look at a couple questions together. And so on this, you have the equation that we're dealing with. So a couple things that I wanted to point out, okay, was we're dealing with moles and liters. Those aren't typical things, all right? So you can't go measure something in moles. So we usually are given grams, and we have to do a conversion to moles. And you guys being pre-AP, that's what you guys are going to be responsible for, all right? So just don't forget that in Chapter 8, we learned words down to the right, molar mass on bottom, one on top. So it's not a stoichiometry problem, which is good for some of us, but it is a conversion again. So grams is what's given to us in the problem. Molar mass we get from the periodic table, and then the 1 mole is always a guarantee. So that's one of the circled ones. I guess I could do that. There you go. Okay. And then liters. So as far as liters go, this is the metric system. So when we have milli and deca and centi and all those are things with the metric system. And all that it's going to force you to do is move that decimal 3 to the left or 3 to the right. So what I would recommend you kind of have is you know that 1,000 milliliters are in 1 liter, okay? So 1,000 milliliters are in 1 liter. And so therefore, if you are trying to go from liters, if you're going from liters to milliliters, then what we're doing is we're going smaller. So we want to move that decimal 3 to the left, okay? I'm realizing this isn't writing very pretty. Sorry. If I am going from milliliters to liters, I said that backwards, by the way. I knew it didn't sound right. Okay, let's try that again. If I'm going from liters to milliliters, we're going to take that decimal 3 times to the right, okay? Because we're trying to show a smaller unit. So if you think about how many like little dashes are on a ruler, when are looking at the smaller units, so the little itty bitty ones, there's lots of them on there, right? So we want to make the number bigger to represent milliliters. All right, if we're going from milliliters though back to liters, then that means that you're talking about the ruler and you're going to the little slashes on it. You've got to talk about the fraction of it. So what that means is that we're going to take that decimal and we're going to go 3 times to the left. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to hit a couple of those examples if that's going over your head. But you do have this awesome resource, and just know that it has a couple examples for you to refer to. And you also have a nice little video that you can watch with it. Okay, so that's it. This is a pretty common unit, so shouldn't be too bad. Okay, now the words that we're seeing though. Molarity is new. Moles, old. Liters, old. Solute, old. And solution are old. So we're talking about what we're dissolving into the solvent. But if you notice, solvent isn't anywhere on here, right? So we're still dissolving stuff. But what we're looking at is what is that fraction of solute in that whole solution once it's all mixed together, right? So when we're looking at solubility and stuff, it's kind of like, where did it hit on there, right? Okay. And then molarity, another word for molarity is going to be concentration, okay? And I don't know if it says it up here, but what I want you to think of with concentration. So if you've ever bought like frozen orange juice, I know that's what we do. I don't know. We don't do fresh squeeze. But when you get that is a highly concentrated orange juice that you have to dilute. We're going to handle that on Monday. We're going to dilute it with water, right? So if you've ever eaten it straight out of the container, not that I have, but I tried it one time. It was yummy. It's too sweet. Anyway, so it's highly concentrated, lots of strong flavors in there, right? And so highly concentrated, when we put it into our container and then we add water to it, we're diluting it down, so we're watering it down, okay? That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about if you have something that has a high molarity, that means it's highly concentrated. Think of the concentrated orange juice. If you have something that has a lower molarity, it's more watery. So it's it's diluted, okay? So that's kind of what you can think of and relate this to, all right? Okay, so we can go ahead and open up the assignment. Let me make sure that I enabled submissions for y'all, because if I didn't, then I need to go fix it for the rest of the day too. Here we go. It is enabled. Okay, cool, awesome. So go ahead and open it up with me, and that way I can handle just a couple questions on here so that you guys are totally prepared for what you're going to see. All right, so this first one is showing you the little triangle. Now, you guys being pre-AP, I don't really like you guys using the triangle. However, we're going to roll with it because it is useful. You can always have a triangle whenever you have a setup kind of like this, where we had molarity is moles over liters. You can always put that into a triangle if you have something over here and a fraction on the other side of the equal sign. Just a reminder on how this works. Anything that's across from each other means that we're multiplying. Anything that's on top is dividing. So you can divide down or divide down, okay? When you're using the little triangle, you're going to cover up whatever you're solving for. So let's just say I'm solving for liters. It's going to be liters is equal to moles divided by molarity, okay? You could have also done that over here. Anytime you're solving for the bottom of a fraction, you switch these guys out, okay? Algebra. Okay. And then, sorry. So you're just going to basically cover up each of these and you have the formula there, okay? Or you can go and do your algebra. So we have, this is how you solve for that one, this is how you solve for this one. If we're solving for something like moles, that means that we're multiplying both sides by liters. So we're left with moles being molarity times liters, right? So that's how we're kind of handling this first question, okay? You can use the triangle or you can use your algebra. So if you want to take a screenshot, go for it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so moving forward. Number two, we're looking at basically we're actually plugging in and we're solving for it. So it's pretty straightforward. You're matching up. The big thing to note is you are matching up the units, right? So use that to your advantage, okay? Even if you don't know what exactly we're solving for and stuff like that, use that but you should be recognizing what you're solving for. So whatever is next to the word how, like whatever the question is asking about, that's always going to go into this first box. So for this first example, we're going to throw in the word moles right here, right? So we're going to say moles of calcium nitrate. Okay? And then you're going to plug in the two values here with whatever formula setup we're going to be doing. Okay? So that's how you're going to be handling these first couple. All right. So again, the word moles goes up there. Okay, so number 3 should be very similar. Again, it's moles, molarity. You're solving for volume. Number 4, trying to find the one that has grams. Sorry, hold on. Actually, let me go back to, yeah, we're good. Okay. Liters, we're good. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4 should be pretty straightforward. You're just plugging in, putting the things in, and you're going to do multiplying or dividing. And then you have your 3 units that you're going to match up. Should be not too bad. Go look at the triangle. And then finally, this last one is showing you that grams thing. Okay, so I don't mind helping you with number 6 if you'd like to pull it up. So number 6 says, what is the molarity of calcium nitrate solution that has 120 grams of solute in 240 milliliters of the solution? Okay, so we have both of our conversions here, right? And so looking below, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to set it up. We got to solve for, so it says convert your grams and convert the milliliters, right? So you're going to do that on your own sheet of paper, or you can take your notes right now and you can just write it in while we're doing it, okay? Then we're going to fill in these different boxes with the new values that we have, and then you're going to answer it and solve for it, okay? All right, so pretty straightforward, but let's look at this real quick. So if I have 120 grams of the solute, which is the calcium nitrate, so that's CaNO3 with a little 2, okay? If we have that, remember, words are coming down to the right for this conversion. So we're going to bring grams of calcium nitrate down here, and we're going to convert into moles of calcium nitrate, okay? All right, so this part over here, this is our conversion step. So this is the convert. So remember, when we did conversion steps, that's always that guaranteed 1, and this is your molar mass. So we can find molar mass together if you guys would like. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here we go. Okay, so molar mass. We have 1 calcium. So somebody on your calculator start typing this in. Help me out. Okay, so calcium is 40.078. 40.078. We're going to add that to 2 nitrogens. So here, 40.078 plus 2 nitrogens. So we're going to have 2 times 14.007 plus 6 oxygen. So 6 times 15.999. Okay. So that's what you're going to be plugging in for that molar mass. So does anybody have an answer for it? Say that a little bit louder. No, just say it louder. They're not going to hear you. Nobody will know. They won't know. Okay, so we got a direct message of 164.086. All right, and we got a second on that in here. So that's good. All right, so we're going to have 164.086 is going to be the number down here. And I know that you guys already know how to plug that in. So you're going to do this, 120 times 1, or skip that step, and divide it by that 164. Okay? That's going to be, this whole part right here, what we just saw for, was your moles. Okay? You don't have to show all this work over here. We're being very trustworthy with you guys. So just put in the correct answer there. Okay. The next thing is we have 240 milliliters. Let me write that in a different color. That way we don't get too confused. Okay. So if I have 240 milliliters, so that means we're going from, we're going from, I'm going to show the ruler because I just think it's easier for us to see the ruler, right? And so you have like all of your little dashes on the ruler, right? So we're going from 240 of those little dashes to how many rulers is it, right? So we're going from a very lots of things there to simplifying that number down, right? So that should tell you that the decimal should go to the right or to the left. What do you guys think? To the left? Yes, I had to think. Yes, because if I have 240 here, we want to reduce it down to how many rulers, right? So that would be a to the left. 3 to the left. Now, if this is getting confusing and trying to remember that is difficult, then this is the other way we can do it, okay? I need blank space. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So the other way to do this is we can say there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, right? So how many liters are for 240 milliliters? That's a proportion, okay? The last way that you could technically do it is you can take that 240 and you can say, okay, how many of those liters are in there? And divide it by that 1,000. And that will take care of that. So you have this option, you have proportion option, or you have the move that decimal to the left option, okay? Should be 3 to the left. Because if you have 1,000 milliliters, then you have to go 1, 2, 3 to knock off those zeros. And that gets you to the 1. Good. All right, so you should be getting 0.240 as that bottom number. So 0.240 goes down here. Liters, okay? All right. So on that note, I'm going to let you finish your assignment, knock it out, get it turned in. Tomorrow is a makeup day. I will try to jump on, but if I can't, like I said, you'll have a message from me with instructions. Make up your work. Make sure you get yourself caught up in this chapter. All right. Test is next Friday. But have a great weekend. If there's anything that you need in terms of the grades, try to get it. If you really need it on there, then please try to get it before noon. If you don't, and we can just talk about it, then just email me and let me know what I can do to help, okay? Alrighty, great job today. Sorry for the abrupt call and all that stuff, so but I gotta go finish grades, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Have a great day. I thought it was a video.